In this video, we're going to look at triggering automation from an email open. Tracking email opens is directly impacted by the recipient's email software because tracking an open can only occur when an email's HTML is loaded. Not all email software loads the full HTML automatically, so automating based on an email open is not super reliable. Despite this instability in the automation confidence, automating based on email opens can still be leveraged by another legacy merge field hack. So we're going to look at building a custom automation link, the automation model for it, and then adding a quote image of this automation link into the email. You'll see what I mean when we get into it here. So inside Infusionsoft, we're going to start by going to the main nav, and in the marketing column, we're going to go to settings at the very bottom. And then we're going to go to our automation links over here on the left. Scrolling down, we have our automation links section. We're going to go ahead and create a link. And we're going to give this a name. So we're going to call this the IS course 3 email open automation. That's what we'll call it. So that's all we actually have to do. We're going to scroll down and hit this green Save button. So when the page loads, we're going to go to the Actions tab up here, and then we're going to add a new action, which is to apply a tag. And then this is where we're going to apply a functional tag for the purpose of this. So if you haven't created a functional tag, we can, but email open automation, there you go. So that's what basically this link is doing. If somebody clicks on this link, it's going to apply this tag. So now we can go ahead and click the green Save button again. So of course we're looking to track based on an email open. They're not actually clicking anything. So what we want to pay attention to is this ID here. So this is 17197, right? So we'll come back to that. So now that we've actually set up the automation link, we need to go into that email that we're going to go ahead and automate from. And we're going to simply enhance basically what we've been doing from here. So for our model, we're actually going to apply a tag of email opened and configure this for the email open tag that we had just configured that action for. So now in plain English, this will run until we see an email opened. So that's the model, and then putting it inside the email itself is actually very simple. So what you're going to want to do is grab an image block, and you're going to want to drag it all the way to the bottom here at the very base. Instead of image library, we're going to select a custom image URL. And then here's where the hack comes in. We're actually going to type in a merge field. So it's link with the capital L, L-I-N-K, dash, and then whatever the ID was. So in this case, it's 17197, 17197, and then a closing tilde. So even though this looks like it's going to be an error, that's fine. And it's going to give us a broken image because, of course, it's not a real image. Then you're going to go ahead and click back into the block, make the size very, very small, and then for the description, you want to make it a space. If you do not leave a description, it will use the word image by default, and then it's just going to look like there's a broken image at the bottom of an email. So set the size as small as possible, and set the image description to be a space. At this point, we've embedded the email open automation in the email, so we can go ahead, finish it, publish it, and I'm actually going to test this and show that it works. So we've got our automation quote link in an image here, and then we have a tag goal tracking that it's been opened. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and drop my contact record into this particular sequence here. So we have our confirmation invite, so I will go ahead and add myself to that. So I'm just dumping myself into this sequence right here because we're going to prove that it does fire the email open tag. So I'm going to send this ahead of time. Oh, it's already been sent. Great. So back in my inbox here, there you go, action needed. You can see I was testing this before, but you'll notice that, let me actually refresh this before I load the page. I'm going to have to remove this tag. Let me remove this tag real quick. Okay, so we now have a contact record. The tag's not there. We're currently sitting in the confirmation invite sequence and we've received this email. So now, when I open this email, it's going to apply this tag, and we'll see that come through. So open this email. There you go. We have this hidden image down here. It doesn't actually exist, but when it loads the image, it's effectively clicking on the link. And that's how this works, because when the client receives this email and it loads the full HTML, the functional tag is going to be applied, effectively automating based on the open. So this hack is placing an automation link as the source for an image in the email. So that way when the image is loaded, it simulates a click, and that's how we can connect the open to a tag application. So now, if we refresh this, we should see. Let's actually go back to my record real quick, because I know there's a delay there sometimes. We should now see that I have the functional tag that the email was opened, and if we look in the campaign, we will see I'm no longer in that sequence. I've been removed because the email open happened after we sent the email. And there you go. That is how we automate based on an email open. So in the next video, we're going to look at sending form submissions to different thank you pages based on custom fields.